My name is Arthur. For 42 years, my world was black and white, numbers on a spreadsheet, deadlines, quarterly reports. It was a good life, a secure life, but it was a life of quiet routines and measured risks. When I retired 3 years ago, I thought I was ready. I'd earned the right to slow down, to trade my briefcase for a remote control. But what I got wasn't a peaceful retirement, it was a slow fade. My days became a monotonous loop of morning coffee, the news, and an afternoon nap. I was 65, and I felt like I was 85. My back ached from sitting too much, my joints groaned with every step, and the spark I once had for life, for my wife Linda, for our grandkids, was dimming. I felt invisible, a ghost in my own home, haunted by the feeling that my best days were behind me. I had convinced myself that this quiet decline was the price of a life well lived, the inevitable consequence of age. The doctor gave me a clean bill of health but said, "Arthur, it's just a matter of staying active." But what did active even mean when my body felt so reluctant to move? I would watch my neighbors from the window, marveling at their energy, their bustling lives, and I would feel a sting of envy and a deeper pang of regret for all the things I hadn't tried, all the chances I'd let slip by. One Saturday, as I was on my mandated slow walk to the pharmacy, I saw it. A pickleball court, a place I had never even noticed before. The players weren't teenagers, they were people my age, some even older, moving with a surprising agility. There was a woman with silver hair leaping for a ball, a man with a gentle laugh executing a powerful shot. They were alive. I stood there, watching for a full hour, mesmerized by their energy. I saw a flyer pinned to a bulletin board, "Community Pickleball, Beginner's Welcome." A ridiculous idea bloomed in my mind, a wild, thrilling fantasy. What if I could do that? My sensible side, the spreadsheet-loving accountant, told me it was crazy. I was too old, too out of shape, too fragile. But the quiet part of me, the one that had been yearning for something more, said, "What if you're not?" The next day, I found myself back at the court, a cheap paddle in my hand. My first few attempts were comically bad. I missed more balls than I hit, my knees screamed in protest, and I was winded after the first 5 minutes. A woman named Joan, a pickleball veteran in her 50s with a formidable serve, challenged me to a game. She beat me 11-0, but her words after the game were the real victory. "You've got a good eye," she said, "but you need to fuel the engine." She wasn't just talking about energy, she was talking about nutrition. It was my aha moment. I couldn't just play the game, I had to prepare for it. I sought out advice from a friend who was a registered dietitian, a woman named Maria who specialized in senior health. She didn't put me on a restrictive diet, she taught me a new way to think about food. She called it my golden menu. We focused on 3 things: lean proteins for my muscles, healthy fats for my joints, and complex carbs for sustained energy. We started with the simple stuff, swapping out sugary cereals for oatmeal with berries, introducing more leafy greens and salmon into my weekly meals, and making a point to drink more water. It wasn't about giving things up, it was about adding the right things in. She taught me how to read food labels, to look beyond the flashy packaging and understand what I was really putting into my body. The transformation was slow, but undeniable. My old aches and pains, the ones I thought were permanent fixtures, began to recede. My energy levels soared. I was no longer just going through the motions, I was living with intention. The pickleball court became my proving ground. I was still losing a lot, but I was getting better. I was faster, stronger, and more resilient. The competition wasn't just with my opponents, it was with the old version of me, the one who sat on the couch feeling defeated. Today, I'm 68 years old, and I play pickleball 4 times a week. I'm not a professional, but I'm a competitor. More than that, I'm a participant in my own life again. Linda even comes to watch my games, and we've both started cooking more healthy meals together, turning our kitchen into a place of joyful creation. The biggest lesson I've learned is that age isn't a finish line, it's just another starting point. You don't have to accept a life of quiet resignation. You can challenge yourself, find a new passion, and discover a community that brings you joy. And you can fuel that new life with the right food, a golden menu that nourishes not just your body, but your spirit. My life used to be about spreadsheets and staying within the lines. Now, it's about speed, strategy, and stepping outside the lines to chase a little white ball. And in that chase, I found something far more valuable than any spreadsheet could ever hold, a second chance. And it's a game I'm not ready to stop playing.